What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and yeah, look, it's been a quiet week. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? The club's just run poorly. We already know that, but the accounts come out today, and they don't make good reading, really. You know, when you sit there and you think they made a £44.7 million loss. Factoring the fact that Richarlison was sold, that would make it another £100 million loss. It's just, it's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, the comments from the auditor, the statement that Ken Wright makes, it's just a mess. The club's a joke. The turmoil within that boardroom is astounding. It really is astounding. If this was any other type of business ran the way that it is, or if it wasn't a Premier League football team, you'd have to close. You'd have to stop trading. You'd have to, you would not have the assets to keep this going. And it's just a disgrace. I sit there, I read the accounts, I see the stories. I've saw that guy from the Mail. I'm not even going to mention his name because he's just doing my head in. He loves it. He does. He loves it. It's coming out that Everton, the Premier League, are confident that they can, deal with any of the matters this season. I don't, because if Everton appeal, you've got no chance. You've got, 12 weeks to sort it out. They ain't got a clue. It's actually less than 8 weeks to sort it out. They ain't got a clue. And then you've got people from the Mail telling us that it'll happen and that, it's a joke. I will sit here all day and I could break down the situation. We all know what we think about the club and how it's ran. Mashiri, Ken Wright, Denise, the board, the players, the previous managers, the management staff. Now, we've all got our opinions about this football team. But the very simple fact of the matter is, where it has gone wrong, really wrong, over the last 7 years is in the boardroom. But it starts in the boardroom, doesn't it? Because the recruitment's been poor, the signing's been poor, the team managers have been poor. It's just a joke. The club's a joke, and we sit here. I've never known there to be so much like, I'm not even going to say excitement, but so much like eagerness to see an Everton financial report. I've never known it. Everyone was there guessing times. It'll be out of 5, be out of 6, be out at 11, 59, 59. It's just, the club is so toilet. It's just so toilet. And while Sean Dyche and his backroom staff get a tune out of, let's be realistic, pretty bang average footballers, it's amazing. It's brilliant. But then you look above him, and apparently Everton paid £10.5 million to sack Rafa Benitez. We just lost 2-0 away to Norwich, and we paid him £10.5 million to sack him. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Nothing phases me about this club anymore. Nothing surprises me. Nothing phases me. And I can sit here, as I say, and pick out holes in everything. I just can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Every single time I go onto Twitter, Facebook, the news, BBC, Google, wherever, and I read about Everton, I just sit there and I just think, you know what? It is toilet. It is toilet. I don't know what direction this club's going. Like a rudderless ship. Sean Dyche is doing a fantastic job, but it might not matter if a points deduction did happen this season. And I'm not saying that a points deduction may happen or may not happen. I don't know, but I find it hilarious that we're even in this situation. And then you've got other teams that are probably going to be in this situation as well. I find it all very stupid. I can't believe that you've got a billionaire accountant as an owner and we are ran this badly. And then you had the media at one point screaming at the Everton fans, calling us the bad guys. It's a joke. And Ken Wright's statement, oh my God. Ken Wright's statement's unbelievable. Under my chairmanship, I appreciate we're trophyless. And then he's talking about going back to last season, second home game from last or whatever it was against Palace, and you sit there and you just see, oh my God, you are unbelievable. This is more like good vibes, good time FC, Stadium FC, all rolled into one. It's pathetic. And there isn't a positive. Like, there is not a positive being an Everton fan. There isn't, because it's just, you support the team, you sing your heart out, you go home and away, and I've done it this season. I've done it. I haven't been to every home game and I haven't been to every away game, but I have been both home and away. And I can tell you that during those games, I sing, I shout, I do all the things that you should do as a good football fan. And honestly, this club, they just treat you like a doormat. Every single one of us, they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue what they really need to do. They haven't got a clue about going forward. There is not a strategic idea in that club's body. And while we all sit there paying hard-earned money to watch a group of players, don't get me wrong, perform much, much better in the last few weeks, it doesn't change anything, does it? Like, it doesn't change anything. I just think it's a mess. I just think it's a mess. I just think it's a mess. And, I was going to do the match preview for the Tottenham game tonight, but I thought, I'll do it tomorrow instead. And I'll give you some content tonight that you probably agree with me. I like to think you probably think it's a joke. There is a little bit of positive in terms of like income and revenue created, but the simple fact of the matter is, Everton 30 years ago were one of the founding members of the Premier League, and now we are a million miles away from the clubs that we started the league with. And the reason for that is because of the ownership of our clubs has been horrendous. And that ownership of the clubs has been probably partially with one man connected to it. It's just dog shit. It's just dog shit. And there's no positive in that sense. And I wish it was a case of I wouldn't come on there and I'd just say it's not positive. I'd just use the same words over and over again. But like, it's toilet, isn't it? It's toilet. I'm going to sit there. Next game I'm going to Fulham. Me and Finley are going. We'll sit there, we'll watch the game. I suspect we'll win. But nothing could change. Nothing could change. We'll win the game. Sean Dyche would have done a great job. The players will walk off that pitch and they'll be clapped off because they would have won the game. But nothing in the board changes. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing at this point. Like, I don't think they know they don't know what they're doing. And that is the problem. Like, you've got a bunch of incompetent people running a very commercially aggressive business world thing, and they don't know what they're doing. It's just a joke. I think the sponsorship deal didn't help with USM, and we can all sit there and say, oh yeah, the Usmanov money, and where that money's come from, and all of the investigations and whatever, and the fact that Mashiri won't sell the club and all of this stuff. If I was an investor or somebody who had £1 billion spare, I wouldn't buy Everton. Not with the absolute mess that's been created and been left for whoever comes in to try and balance whatever book they need to balance. When Newcastle was bought, they could spend loads. They could look at growing their team. They brought in a manager who was young, hungry, and had a point to prove. What did Everton do? What did Mashiri do? He went and got Ronald Koeman, It was a terrible appointment. He turned us down the week before. We offered him an extra £1 million and he come. I mean, what was that saying? I just think, you know, Everton have not had 8 bad managers or whatever it is, but yet they've all been bad. You know, it's just no coincidence. It's just the people at the top of the club are pants, and we can sit there with all of our emotions and whatever. And I don't know. I just think it's all bullshit. And I don't know what this means for spending in the summer. I don't know what any of that means, because we need to invest. We need to invest, and this football team's going to go nowhere quickly. If they put a transfer embargo on us, I don't know where the goals come from next season, but the positive is Sean Dyche has made us look like we'll score more goals, so you can only hope. If there is a transfer embargo on us, at least we've got some decent players coming back. You know, Jared Branthwaite, for example. He's coming back, so he's all right. Niels Nkounkou seems to be playing okay in this French second division, but again, it's the French second division. He's just had a call up to the under-21s, but he may get an opportunity under Dyche. Dele Alli, I think, has got no chance of playing games, so that's pointless. And hopefully it will just mean that some players will go. Neil Maupay, Tom Davies, Andre Gomez goes out on another loan or permanent, whatever, I don't care. You lose the wages from players like Yuri Mina. So, you know, this has been a big process of Everton trying to balance the books, but Mashiri, no doubt, has lost absolutely millions by joining this venture and doing this. And, you know, it's ridiculous that he has, because he's meant to know what he's doing. He's meant to know what his accountancy stuff is, and actually he's absolutely rubbish at it. So, yeah. Apart from that, I'm leaving it there. You'll see me tomorrow for my match preview. Everton against Spurs. at Goodison Park on Monday night. Tough game, but again, I think Everton will get a result in. That's all I'm giving you. Guys, I'll see you soon. Keep smiling. I know that I'm not particularly positive, but just you got some energy tonight. You got a little bit of energy. You got a little bit of vibrancy, and that's the main thing. You don't want to sit there bored watching content from people that just don't give a shit, when I clearly do. So yeah, cool. See you soon. Peace.